Now we are taking a very important model of question. This question I have taken it from the worked example of S.C. Verma. The question is, we are having three concentric spheres. On the inner sphere, you have given charge of Q. Outer sphere minus Q, middle one is earthen. The radius is different, A, B and C. They are asking us to find the charge which will appear on surfaces of B and C. So let us try to solve this question. So the first confusion that is going to come into our mind is that, let us first talk about the sphere A. So this is our sphere A. So I am drawing a little bigger diagram for sphere A. A is the innermost sphere. Correct? So let us say this is the outer surface and this is the inner surface of A. It is a thin spherical shell. For clarity, I have drawn it like this, and you can see this whole thing is filled up with some material. This part will be filled up with some material. This is material, conducting material, and radius is given as A. What is the charge you are giving to it is Q. Now there are two options. Options are either Q can reside on the outer surface of this A, or it can reside on the inner surface of A. Correct? So let us try to see what is going to happen. Now what we do is we draw a Gaussian surface which is just inside the outer surface, somewhere here. So this is your Gaussian surface which you have drawn. What is the electric field at this point? It is lying in the material, conducting material, so electric field is 0. So can we write by Gauss law E into 4 pi A square, and that is equal to Q enclosed by epsilon naught. So electric field is 0. So what is Q enclosed from here? You can see Q enclosed will be 0. And this layer, this yellow Gaussian surface which you are seeing here, we have taken it to be just inside the outer surface. But for clarity, I have drawn it somewhere in middle so that you can see it clearly. But remember, this is just next to the outer surface of this sphere. So what is the net charge enclosed by this imaginary Gaussian surface? It is 0. That means where the whole charge, whatever charge we have given to this hollow spherical shell, where all those charge is residing, the extra charge, it is residing on the outer surface. So we can say that charge is distributed on the outer surface, not on the inner surface, but on the outer surface. And what is that charge? The charge we have given is Q. So now can you say, we can do the distribution here. This charge is distributed on outer surface, and what is that charge? Q. There is no charge on the inner surface of A. And you would have understood why there is no charge on the inner surface. Correct? Now let us talk about sphere B. Let us talk about sphere B. So for sphere B, I can do the same thing. Let us say this is the inner part and this is the outer part of sphere B. So again, you are having some material which is making up this hollow sphere. This is the material which is making up this hollow sphere, and this is sphere B. We don't know how much charge is going to reside and where it is going to reside. So let us say we give the charge. We give the charge on the inner surface of B as something like x, and on the outer surface we give it as y. On the outer surface we give it as y. We don't know the value of x, we don't know the value of y. Now what we do is we draw again imaginary Gaussian surface in the material of this. So again, what is electric field here? At any point in the material, electric field again it will be 0. So you can write, and what is the radius? It is almost b. So again you can write E into 4 pi b square is equal to q enclosed pi epsilon naught. This time it is charge enclosed within b. So what is electric field? 0. So again what you are getting here, or let us say q enclosed dash, just to differentiate it from the sphere A. So what is q enclosed dash here? Net charge enclosed by it, it becomes 0, because this electric field here it is 0. Now what is the net charge enclosed within this Gaussian surface? Now remember, within this B you are having A also. Within this B you are having A, and on A what is the charge you are having? Q. So can we say that Q plus X is equal to 0? If you are writing that Q in dash is equal to 0, that means Q plus X is equal to 0. So what is X? X becomes equal to minus of Q, correct? So that means on the inner surface how much charge is distributed of B? You are having minus charge distributed, and that charge is how much? Minus of Q. Minus of Q. On the outer surface we don't know, we have put it as y. So let it be y. Now let us talk about C. So I will erase this part and we will try to see what is going to happen in part C. Now if you will talk about a sphere C, again a sphere C, inner surface, and let us say this is outer surface of a sphere C. So this is made up of some material. This is our sphere C. And what is the net charge? Let us say again, first you have to draw the Gaussian surface. So you just draw it like this. This is your imaginary Gaussian surface just below the outer surface of C. So what is the net charge enclosed by this? Q enclosed double dash. What is the net charge enclosed by this? We need to find it out. So let us say the charge on the inner surface is some y dash, correct? The charge on the inner surface is y dash. So total charge we had given was minus q. So on outer how much charge will develop? Out of minus q you have removed y dash. So it will be minus q minus of y dash, correct? Then only the total charge on sphere C will be minus q. So now again we can write electric field into 4 pi c square as equal to q enclosed double dash by epsilon naught. So electric field inside, what is the electric field at any point on this Gaussian surface? It is lying inside the material. So electric field is 0. So q enclosed double dash is also 0. Now what is q enclosed by this Gaussian surface double dash? So you can see it here within this inner part. How much we have assumed? We have assumed it to be y dash, and on outer surface minus q minus y dash. So this is the charge distribution we are having. So now let us put it. It is q minus q plus y minus y dash and that is equal to 0. So now what do we get from here? You get, sorry, y plus y dash. So what do you get y dash as equal to? You get it as minus of y. Y dash, you get it as minus of y. We can keep the charge distribution as minus y instead of y dash. We can remove it. And here again, in minus y if you will substitute, so it will become minus q plus y. Minus q plus y, so that the net charge still remains minus q. So now, by making use of Gauss law, we have completed the charge distribution on the inner and outer surface of all the three spheres. And what is our unknown? Our unknown is y. We need to find out the value of y. So let us try to do that. And in order to do that, the other information which we are having in the question is that the middle one is earthed, means its potential is 0. So we will try to find out potential of the at the surface of sphere B and we will put it equal to 0. So that will be our next step. So let us do that. So now, what will be the potential at the surface of B? So potential here will be created by this charge at the surface of a Q. So this point on B is is lying outside the sphere A. So what will be this value? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by, what is the radius or what is the distance? It is B. So we put it as B. Now what about this minus Q charge here? Plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus Q by again B. Then you are having y charge on the outer surface. So outer surface will contribute 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into y by B. Plus now inner surface of the outer sphere. What is the total charge? Minus y, and this point is lying inside. So what will be the potential? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus y by C. Because potential inside a hollow sphere is same as that on the surface of the sphere, and due to this charge again it will become plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught y minus q by C. And this whole thing is actually equal to 0. So now let us add them. So this constant terms will be gone. Q by B minus Q by G, this will also be gone. Here you are having y by B. Let us write it, y by B minus y by C plus y minus Q by C, and this is equal to 0. Yes. So now from here minus y by C plus y by C. So this will get cancelled. And what you are left with? Y by B minus Q by C is equal to 0. So what is y? That becomes equal to B into Q by C. B into Q by C. So once we know this value, you know the charge distribution now. For A, inner surface 0, outer surface Q. For B, inner surface minus Q, outer surface BQ by C. For C, inner surface minus of this, outer surface minus Q plus 1. So for outer surface of C, it will be, you can write, for outer surface of C, what is the charge? Minus Q plus y. So y value, whatever you have calculated, put it minus q plus bq by c. And that's how you solve the question which is related with concentric spheres. First, do the charge distribution making use of Gauss law, and then make use of whatever additional information is given in the question. So here it was given that the middle sphere has been earthed. So that means the potential is at the surface of the middle one is 0. So we made use of that information to solve, to frame the equation and get the value of unknown. Okay, so let's see this question. 3 concentric spheres and charges are given, q minus 2q and 3q. They are telling that if you will close this switch, then there will be some flow of charge through this switch. So how much is that charge? Now the concept is, when you are closing this switch, the surface of sphere A and the surface of sphere C will acquire the same potential. So the flow of charge will take place till both of them acquire the same potential. So let us say the flow of charge has been something like this. Let us say some q charge has flown from outside to inside. So we can, what is the new charge? This will be this much, and the inner one will gain that charge. So this flow of charge through this switch, let us say that has been q. So now let us try to find out first what is potential at the surface of A. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is the charge? Capital Q plus Q. Radius is R. Due to the middle one, no change in the charge distribution, and for inner one, you know by Gauss law, the charge is going to reside on the outer surface only. For the middle one, no change in the charge distribution, you can take it minus 2q itself, and this distance is 2r. And then outer one, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 3 capital Q minus q by 4r. Because this point is lying internal to the outermost as well as to the middle one. So whatever is the potential created at those surfaces, same potential will continue inside. What about potential created at the surface of C? Now C is surface of C and it is external to A and B. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q plus Q by 4r plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 2q by 4r plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 3q minus q by 4r. So the flow of charge through this switch will take place till both A and C acquires the same potential. So we can put VA as equal to VC as the condition. So when you will put this as the condition, then what will happen? These common terms will get cancelled out. Then you can cancel out R. So finally what you can write? Q plus Q minus of Q, because this 2 and 2 will also get cancelled, plus 3 capital Q minus Q by 4, and this is equal to Q by 4 minus Q by 2 plus 3Q minus Q by 4. So now you can see this term and this term, they will also cancel out each other. This Q, this gets cancelled out. So we can write Q minus Q by 4 as equal to Q minus Q by 2. That is equal to Q by 2. So it is 4Q minus Q by 4. So 3Q by 4. So I am writing it here. 3Q by 4. We can write it as Q by 2. So twice, what is a small q? It becomes equal to 2Q by 3. So small q is equal to 2q by 3, and this is the charge which has flown from one sphere to another sphere through switch S. Okay, so let's see this question. 3 concentric spheres, middle one has been given charge of plus q. There is no charge initially on A and C, but they are connected together by a wire. Radius you can see R, 2R and 4R. So they are asking what charge will appear on the surface of A and C. So initially you can see there is no charge on A and C. So let us say if we put some charge, if we give charge Q to A, by Gauss law we know that it is going to reside on the outer surface of A. There won't be any charge on the inner surface of A. That we have already learned, right? So if Q is the charge appearing here, then what will be the charge that will appear on the surface of C? Net charge has to be 0. So the charge which will appear here will be minus Q. Now if A and C are connected, then the potential at the surface of A must be equal to the potential at the surface of C. So let us write the expression for potential at the surface of A. It will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by R plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into capital Q by 2R plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus Q by 4R. What will be potential at the surface of C? C is outermost sphere, so this will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by 4R plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into capital Q by 4R plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus Q by 4R. So if you are putting potential at the surface of A to be equal to potential at the surface of C, because both are connected by the wire, then what can we write? We can first cancel whatever is the common term on both the sides, and after that we can write Q plus Q by 2 minus Q by 4, and this is equal to Q by 4 plus Q by 4 minus of Q by 4. So these two terms, it will get cancelled out. Q minus Q by 4 is 3Q by 4, and that will be equal to Q by 4 minus of Q by 2. So this will be minus of Q by 4. So 4 and 4 gets cancelled, and you get this Q is equal to minus of Q by 3. So on the outer surface of A, how much charge is appearing? It is minus Q by 3. On the outer surface of C, it is minus Q charge. So negative of that will be Q by 3. Let's see this question. Two conducting shells are placed concentrically and a charge capital Q is given to them so that their surface charge densities are equal. Find potential at common center. So now this charge Q has to be distributed. So let us say on the inner surface you are giving a charge of Q, and to the outer shell you are giving charge capital Q minus Q. Surface charge density is same. What is surface charge density? It is charge per unit area. So we can write sigma A is equal to sigma B. So charge on A Q by 4 pi A square. We can write it as capital Q minus a small q by 4 pi B square. Surface area of a sphere. So now 4 pi and 4 pi will get cancelled, and what we will get? B square by A square into Q, and that is equal to capital Q minus a small q. So Q, bring it on the other side. 1 plus b square by a square is equal to capital Q. So small q will become equal to capital Q by 1 plus b square by a square. And this can be written as a square into capital Q by a square plus b square. So this is the charge on the inner shell. What is the charge on the outer shell? Capital Q minus a small q. So we can write capital Q minus a square q by a square plus b square. So it will be b square capital Q by a square plus b square. So what is the potential at their common center? So let us say this is O. So potential at O will be created by charge Q as well as charge capital Q minus a small q. So this point is internal to both of them. So what will be the potential created here? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by radius is A. For the other one it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into capital Q minus a small q, and radius is B, because both the points are, this point is internal to both the spheres. So whatever is the potential at the surface, same potential will continue at any point inside the sphere. So now from here we can find the value of common potential, because we have already determined, you can see what is a small q and what is capital Q minus a small q. So we just need to substitute the values. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common here. Capital small q by a will be equal to a into q by a square plus b square, plus this charge is this much divided by b. So 1b will get cancelled. So bq by a square plus b square. So you can see the answer is this value. This is the common potential at the. So let's take up this question. Electric potential of inner metal sphere is 10 volt. So if this is, let us say A, this is B. So what is potential at surface of A? If you are giving some charge, let us say here charge QA, on the outer one QB. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA by A plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, it will be QB by B, and this is given as 10 volts. And what about outer sphere at the surface of B? So it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into QA by B plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into QB by B, and this is given as some 5 volt. And they are asking to find potential at the common center. So potential at the common center, it will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. It is interior to both first sphere and the second sphere. So it will be QA by A plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QB by P. So now see which value is matching. It is same as the potential at the surface of A. So the answer for this question will become 10